Hi beautiful people, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about my university experience, because someone suggested that I do a video about basically university and how I was able to stay consistent with my studies. So here I am doing a video about it. So yeah, but I've written down a few points, so I'm just going to go through them, but I want to just talk from the heart. Before I continue with the video, I'll ask you guys please to subscribe to my channel. If you guys like the video, watch to the end, see if you like it, give it a like, and comment if you have any comments as well about it. I'd love for some feedback. What I studied was a bachelor in science, so nursing. Is that what it was called? Bachelor in science in nursing. I don't know. Anyways, it's nursing, registered nursing. That's what I studied. But first of all, I want to say that, look, if you're going to university, if you've decided to go to university, have the mindset that, look, I'm going there to achieve a goal and be out of there. Because throughout university, I just saw a lot of people start and drop, or start and change to a different course, or start and just have no desire to really want to actually be there, and then waste a lot of time and like do a year or two and then just leave it. So basically you have to have the mentality first of all that, look, I'm going to university because I want to study this specific course. Really do some research on the course that you're going to do as well, because you want to know what you're going to be studying about, and you want to know if you're going to be interested or not, because otherwise you're just going to be dropping out. Having that real just mentality of, look, I'm coming here to study, I'm coming here because I'm serious about wanting to understand this career pathway, and I would like to work in this career pathway. Know what you actually want, because if you go there you're going to be wasting your time if you don't even know, because you're just going to drop out anytime. Alright, so that's the first thing you want to do. And when you get there, guys, first year, look, you're going to be lost. Let's be honest. You don't know anything. If you've never been to uni before or you've never heard about it, you're going to feel lost and overwhelmed, because it's a new thing, it's a new experience, something you've never done before. I remember with my first year, trying to get to classes, I'd get lost. So I'd always be late as well, because I wouldn't know what my classes are, trying to follow the map or class, or for example, they'd be like, oh, this is in room 105 and class 4 or 6 or whatever it is, and you'd have to look for that on the map. And obviously you're new there, so you're not going to find everything easily. So what you want to do really is always try to start looking for your classes early, so you don't get to class late. And honestly guys, it's really at the very start. The first year is just discovering everything, getting used to everything, getting used to how university works, establishing what your life is going to be like in university. You have to get your student cards, you have to get your resources like your books, whatever else you need, if you need uniforms, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to need all of that in your first year. And honestly guys, they guide you. Your tutors and your lecturers, they guide you. So most of the time you don't really need to stress about that too much. You just have to really be willing to learn and listen, listen carefully, because they're usually always telling you, guiding you. And if you don't know anything as well, you always just ask questions. Ask as much questions as you want, because that's the only way you're going to find out information. And yes, it might feel overwhelming or a bit stressful at the start, but really you start getting used to it slowly. You take one step at a time and ask some questions, and then you make your way through slowly. But yeah, that was pretty much first year. Second year, you get the hang of things. You understand what referencing is all about. You understand, you're kind of getting an idea of how you're supposed to write your assignments. You go to your tutes, your lectures. You get into the gist of things. And then now it hits the time for you to really buckle down, because first year I feel like it's kind of easy. I think they kind of really cater it to that transition period, that transition component of it, where obviously you might be leaving high school or you might be coming from a different course or whatever. They give you that that leeway for you to learn and have that period of transition without feeling like, oh, this is just too much. But second year, you're really getting into your course. You're really understanding your course now. You're having sometimes a lot more units, a lot more study required, because higher grading. For example, some of the units would be like, oh, I have to get 50% for this assignment to be able to pass. And if you don't get it, it's it's quiet. Like, you might have to do the assignment again. So you got to make sure that you're actually spending time studying. And look, it's not easy being consistent, but it's about being disciplined. It's really about being disciplined and telling yourself, I have to study because I'm trying to get this degree. I have to study. Setting your timetable correctly, you know, write out the things you need to do for the day and put in that time for study. I can't stress enough about the fact that, look, at the end of the day, you're there to actually study. Like, that's actually why you're in university. And if you have that mentality, everything else that's going on in your life becomes second. You know, study becomes your first priority, and everything else becomes your second or third priority. Obviously, family is important. You want to spend time with family, have time to socialize as well, spend time with friends. So that's why a lot of universities actually even have like social clubs. I know, because where I went to Curtin, and there's so many social clubs that were available if you wanted to attend. They literally have like so many things that you can be doing to rest, to socialize, to, you know, take a breather when you need, because I think they're there for a reason. Like, obviously there needs to be balance. You can't just full on study the whole time and not have any time off to have a rest and take a break. You know, you need to do that. You need to be able to do that, to be able to rest and just rejuvenate. And so when I needed to actually buckle down for assignments, for tests or whatever, I go to the library where I wouldn't be disturbed. Because sometimes, you know, you meet people, you meet friends, and, you know, you want to chat with them and have fun and just enjoy it for a bit, because, you know, it really can get stressful sometimes. But you can do that, honestly do that, but be wise with your time. Have time to do that, but also make sure that you're giving yourself time to study. You go away, you leave everybody else. I always used to go to like a silent room upstairs, and when I know I have something important to study for, I would, you know, make sure I get that thing done first, and then when I'm finished with that, go have a rest, go spend time with people, go outside. And I used to love Curtin because Curtin would have like hammocks, is that how you say it? Hammocks, whatever they are, like kind of like really nice spots to just chill and relax, and, you know, just lay back and, you know, lay back in the sun, literally sunbake for like 30 minutes, have your lunch. And then if you know, if you have friends, you know, meet up with your friends for a little bit, chill for a bit before, like in between classes, and after that you feel nice and rejuvenated, then you get back right into it, because at the end of the day you're there to study. And really staying consistent is just pushing yourself. Look, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You have to tell yourself, I'm here to study, I gotta study, and then you go do it. That's all I did. That's literally all I did. Making sure that after tutes, I would literally go home, write out my notes when I could about that specific topic, because each week usually they break out, most of the time the way my course went, they'd break out every topic into weeks. And so that week, for example, if we were doing the cardiovascular system or the respiratory system, and then I'll focus on that. So I'll write out all my notes for that specific week. Each time we finish the tute, or even me writing my notes during the tutes or during the lectures. And because they would kind of tie in the lectures and the tutes together, so then I would know that, okay, this is this week's topic, so I'd focus on that, write out my notes, make sure that the week doesn't end without me writing out all my notes. Because that way I don't fall behind, and I'm not like, oh, we just finished this topic and now we're starting a new topic, and I haven't even grasped this topic, you know. So writing out my notes for the week, and then the next week that comes doing the exact same thing, so that, you know, when it gets to the end of the semester, I've written out pretty much most of my notes, and I just have to go over them. Like, if I want, I can rewrite them, or all I have to do is just read over them, highlight them for my exams and for my tests. And that way, when I write out my notes for the weeks, and when I have assessment, I would be doing my assessments while, you know, my notes have already been written for my subjects that I know I'm going to be having, you know, exams for. So that's usually how I would do my study. And it really did well for me. Like, you know, I was able to graduate, and yeah, like, that's how I got through university, to be honest. Like, literally there's no other way but to buckle down and just study. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you don't want to do it sometimes, you don't feel like doing it, but you have to do what you don't feel like doing. That's how it works. Like, if you want to achieve anything great, that's just how it is. You got to do what you don't want to do. Sometimes what you don't feel like doing, you have to do it. And that's just what it is. It is what it is. You can find different ways to study. If you want to study in different ways, you can do that. There's always so many ways that people grasp information, and so, you know, whatever way works for you, do that. If you feel that, you know, like meeting up with your friends and basically talking with them through the subjects or through the different topics that they are helps you really study, do that. If you feel like, you know, going to the library in the silent room, really buckling down and just studying and writing notes and everything works better for you, or even watching videos, whatever way you can, whatever way you find best to study, use that, because that's the only way you're gonna you know, achieve what you want to achieve out of uni. Another thing I want to add as well, guys, you want to ask as much questions as possible, just in general. So I think I already said this before, even like just looking for your classes or whatever, but I'm talking about if you don't know something, you will know something if you ask about it. If you need to ask your lecturer, if you need to ask the head of department, if you need to ask any of the librarians for any information, ask your friends, ask anyone. Because with university, everyone's trying to discover, everyone's trying to find out. Sometimes people have been there longer than you, so they know information that you might not know, and so when you ask them, you know, you're gaining this information that it could be very useful for you. And university always provides so many resources. Like I remember there were courses. We had a subject called anatomy and physiology, and basically it was to do with your, you know, your whole human body, just all the structures and function and how it all worked and everything. And they had extra courses for basically like really breaking it down and really understanding it really well. And I went through those courses. I went to that course. Yes, like obviously it's extra work, but look, it's for your own benefit. If you want to do well in your studies, if you want to really understand what you're talking about, and if you love what you're doing, it won't even be work. It would literally just be like, oh wow, like I'm actually getting a better understanding of what, you know, this course is all about. So yeah, look for any extra resources that are there, because it makes your study easier. When you understand what you're talking about, even have more fun with it, you know. And when you come to exam and test time, you're prepared. You really know what you're talking about, and that's what you want. You don't want to feel overwhelmed and lost, you know. So extra activities, extra resources, extra courses that are there for you to use. Look into them and use them, because uni always provides extra stuff for you, because, you know, they want you to succeed. And then another thing I want to add, look, you might fail units for whatever reasons. People always be going through a lot of different things. Look, you might be going through some family traumas, just stressful times at home or with your relationships, whatever it is. It can cause you to, you know, sometimes fail assignments or not meet deadlines, and, you know, get in your assignments really late. But at the end of the day, guys, just know that just because you failed doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Just try again. You know, hand in the assignment again. You might lose marks, but look, at the end of the day, you just gotta get it in. And the main aim is that you graduate. That is what you're there for. And so you just keep pushing. You keep pushing. That's literally it. Study, 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 because that's what you're there for. Rest as well and rejuvenate. Make sure you know you get your rest that is needed. You know, look, if you fall, you get back up again and you try again, and then you move on with life. That's how it works at the end of the day, guys. And you don't want to be wasting your time dwelling on, you know, all the negativity of it all, or things that might happen with failures and stuff. You just want to move on and basically graduate from your degree. So yeah, guys, those are some of the ways that I was able to survive university, and I guess hopefully there were some tips in there that, you know, will be useful for you if you are looking into going into university. Other than that, yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and give it a like if you like it, and give me a comment as well. Send me any suggestions, any feedback that you guys have. I'd love to hear them. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching Heart to Heart with Harriet, and I'll see you guys in another video.